Well, we made it. Christmas has come and gone. The wrapping paper is recycled. The leftovers are probably a little questionable. And some of you haven't eaten a vegetable since December 22nd. And now we've hit that weird in between space, that week where time seems to have stopped working. The Christmas decorations are all a little disheveled, and you begin to wonder if anything will actually be accomplished between now and New Year's. But there's something about these days after Christmas that can kind of feel empty. We spend weeks, sometimes months, building towards a moment. The music, the lights, all the anticipation. Then suddenly it's just quiet. And the question rises, well, what now? What happens now that big moment is over? Our final message in this series is called All I Want for Christmas is a Home. Because under all the wrapping paper, the travel, the gatherings, all the expectations, what we most want in our lives is a sense of home, a place to belong, a place of presence. And the good news is, Christmas doesn't end when December 25th does, because the God who came near is the God who remains near. He stays. He dwells with us. He becomes our home. And once you start seeing life through that lens, you begin to notice how much meaning we attach to moments that are supposed to feel perfect. For example, when our kids were little, Brianna and I tried to make Christmas morning feel and look like a Hallmark movie. But by the afternoon, it looked more like a crime scene. There's wrapping paper thrown everywhere, some of it piled up and the kids playing in it. There were halfway assembled toys, kids playing in the empty boxes. There was always someone passed out on the couch or in the recliner. There's a dog eating something they probably shouldn't be. It's like the whole house was just letting this deep sigh free. There was this strange mixture of joy. That was very clearly there. But there was also depletion at the same time, because the moment we were building towards was now behind us. And that's actually where everyone was after Jesus' birth too. There was an incredible miracle that had happened, something that was beyond comprehension. But then what? What now? Well, Jesus didn't come just to create a special moment. He came to create a home in our lives. In John 14, verse 23, Jesus says, "Loving me will empower you to obey my word. And my Father will love you so deeply that we will come to you and make you our dwelling place." Did you catch that? God will make you their home. Do you understand how powerful that statement is? The creator and sustainer of everything, the God who divided the Red Sea so that Moses and the Israelites could cross on dry land, the God who has performed countless incredible miracles, didn't come for a visit on Christmas morning or for a occasional pop-in. This same God came to earth and made a home for themselves in you. God doesn't want some seasonal relationship. God wants daily presence in your life. He wants to live where you live, walk where you walk, sit with you in the real, everyday, ordinary moments of life. Christmas is not showing up for a cameo, it's God moving in. God didn't send a greeting card. Instead, He sent a completed change of address form. And honestly, that idea, the idea of someone choosing to carry what we can't, shows up in stories that we love. For example, Lord of the Rings. There's this beautiful moment where Frodo collapses under the weight of the ring. He is exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally and also spiritually. He can't take another step. And his best friend, partner, the person who stayed with him through all of it, comes alongside him and says, I can't carry it for you, meaning I can't carry the ring for you, but I can carry you. And that's what home is meant to feel like. Not someone fixing everything, but someone refusing to leave it all on you. Someone refusing to leave you alone in it. And that's what Jesus does. He doesn't just save us from a distance. He stays near. He carries us when our strength gives out. And when someone carries you long enough, you stop running. You stop striving and you start resting. And in that rest, Jesus invites us to make our home in Him. In John 15, Jesus says, abide in me, and I will abide in you. A branch cannot bear fruit if it is disconnected from the vine, and neither will you if you are not connected to me. You know that word in the New Testament that they translate as abide? It means to remain, to dwell, or to continue a deep, ongoing connection with God. Jesus is saying, you don't have to lose the closeness that you felt at Christmas. You don't have to go back to living disconnected lives. Live in me. Walk with me. Let me be your home, because home isn't just some physical place. Home is meant to be a place where you feel seen, where you feel safe and known, and you no longer have to perform. Because when you finally feel at home, you stop trying to impress and you relax. You sit down and you just exist. This reminds me of something that most of us have seen in TV. What's your favorite sitcom? Think of all the sitcoms throughout all of TV history. What's your favorite one? If you watch TV enough, you'll notice something funny. Every sitcom, whether you're talking about Seinfeld or Friends, The Office, New Girl, whatever, they have this one place. Oftentimes it's a chair or a couch where a character always sits. And it doesn't matter what kind of chaos is unfolding. When they drop into that spot, everything kind of feels grounded again. This image of in Friends when Chandler or Joey come home and they sit in their recliner, and it seems like all the cares of the day just kind of melt off. Why? Because home is rarely about a building or some place. It's about the presence you find there. Well, Jesus is that spot for us. Jesus is the place where our soul gets to exhale. The place where you don't have to pretend. He's the one who doesn't leave. And when the season ends, or the feelings fade, or when life just gets messy, Jesus still remains. Which means Jesus' story doesn't end when the decorations come down. It doesn't stay in December. It walks with us into whatever comes next. Christ's presence goes with us into the new year. In Matthew 28, verse 20, Jesus says, I am with you always. Always. Not seasonally, not during the holidays, not when life is going well. I am with you always. Christmas is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. God is with you in the quiet. God is with you in the mess. God is with you in the uncertainty of the coming year. God is with you when joy feels devoid or completely distant. God is with you when peace is hard to find. You don't have to go into 2026 looking for God. You can go into 2026 with the God who's already found you. You are not alone. You are not without a guide. You are not without a source of strength. You are not without a home. And when that's true for you, the question becomes, how can we live from that place? Not how do we earn it, but how do we get to live in that place? Well, here's how that can take shape in our lives. Number one, slow down. Slow down enough to notice God. God is always present. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter how far you may feel from God, God is always present in your life. Most often, though, we are just too rushed to see him. Number two, be honest with God. Home is where you don't have to pretend that everything is okay. Home is meant to be a place where you can be honest. And God wants to be that for you. So be honest. Whatever's going on in your life, be willing to share that with God. Good times and bad, pain and happiness. Whatever it is, be honest. Number three, stay connected with your church family. Because home is God, but home is also people. We belong to each other. We see that repeated throughout the New Testament, that we belong to one another. 4, invite Jesus into every part of your life. Work, relationships, decisions, worries, whatever. Home is where every door is open. And number 5, anchor your new year in God's presence. Don't worry about resolutions. Focus on relationship. Don't worry about all the pressures. Focus on presence. Living this way doesn't always look dramatic. Most of the time it looks quiet, ordinary, and rather human. If you watch any Pixar movie, you know how they all end. There's always that one final scene somewhere in the last 5 minutes of the movie. It's a quiet, tender, full resolution of the whole story. Finding Nemo, ends with a father and son reunited. In Up, it ends with a boy and an old man sharing an ice cream on a curb. Toy Story 3, Andy passes all his favorite toys, Woody and Buzz and all the others, to a little girl who needed them more than he did. Every Pixar ending whispers this same truth. You belong somewhere. You matter to someone. You have a home. Christmas is God's version of that ending. But it's not the ending at all. In fact, it's the beginning of a new life where you never have to walk alone again. In Jesus, your soul finds what it's looking for: a home that lasts, a presence that stays. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you have an incredible New Year's. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.